In the back of my car is a box. Inside that box is a brand new trading station that is radically different from anything I have used before. In this episode, I'm gonna unbox, I'm gonna open it up, I'm gonna set it up, and I'm gonna walk you through what is different about this new trading station from the current setup that I have. When I first started trading, I was using a borrowed computer, and it was a Mac. Now, the problem with trading on a Mac is that a lot of trading software when I got started was Windows only, so it was limiting what I could actually use for my trading. And I had a friend who had an old Lenovo laptop, and he said that I could have it, and that was fantastic. So that was my first trading computer that was really solid, and it was a laptop and it lasted for several years. And once it got old, I decided to replace it with a new Lenovo laptop. And I had noticed in the hospitals whenever I went in that all the doctors were using these Lenovo computers. They were on those little stations that roll around the hospital. And I thought, if they're good enough for doctors, they're certainly going to be good enough and reliable enough for trading. I didn't want a computer that would break down on me. And the reason I wanted a laptop was so I could really, harness the ability to trade from anywhere in the world. This is the awesome thing about being a trader. Why be tethered down with a desktop computer? But it's true that desktop computers can be significantly more powerful. They can run quieter, they're not as hot. And so there are some advantages. And ultimately, it probably makes sense if you can afford it to have both. To have a desktop computer that's your home computer, and then to have a laptop that you use for when you're traveling. And that's what I'm gonna do now. All right, so let's start opening this thing up. This is a brand new desktop computer made by Falcon Trading Systems. I've been using their laptops for several years. Both of the laptops you see here are Falcon Trading laptops. We've got an F15 and an F30. Now, my problem with the F30 is that it's loud. The fan is very loud. And when I'm recording videos and stuff like that, it's noticeable. But even when I'm just sitting and trying to trade, I find the sound of a fan that loud to be a little annoying. So, and one of the reasons that I decided to make this leap was because I was running into issues where, although this is a great computer for recording videos and editing, especially in 4K, it just wasn't keeping up with what I needed. So I decided to take the leap. But one of the problems that I was having was, how am I going to get over the fact that I have been using a trackpad instead of a mouse for my entire career? And that's when I found this little thing, which is a USB keyboard with a trackpad. So I'm going to use this. I'm at least going to try to use it so I can still have my regular workflow and not be tied into using a mouse, which for me, I just don't want to use because I like to keep my hands in a very tight space when I'm trading. I've got my trackpad with my thumb and I'm moving very quickly here. I don't want to have to be taking my hand off the keyboard to go fumble around with a mouse. That's just not going to work for the way I trade. So I think this is going to be a game changer. They make a lot of these for tablets, and that's fine, but of course, I'm not using a tablet. I need one that actually works on a PC, on Windows. So hopefully this will work well. It is designed in Germany, so I expect it'll work exceptionally well. We'll see what happens. Okay, so we have a box inside a box. This is the machine itself, and it's pretty heavy. The package said it was 75 pounds, and of course, the bubble wrap weighs hardly anything. So I guess it's about a 75-pound computer. Again, doesn't really matter. Of course, if I was trying to put this in my carry-on bag on a flight, that would be a challenge, but that's not what this is for. This is going to be my home trading station. So let's open this box and take a peek and see what it looks like. It's almost like it's been wrapped in the things they've wrapped luggage in when you're at the airport. Okay, so here it is. It is quite large, larger than any desktop computer I've ever seen, in my experience. It's like double size. On the back, I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 USB ports. And then I have One, two, three, four video display ports. These are these smaller ones. And then I've got, let's see, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 USBs. I mean, 3 USB-Cs. This has almost every port you could imagine. I've never seen a computer with this many ports. This is kind of wild. It even looks like it has a little plug for plugging in a satellite, but I'm sure that's not what it's for. I don't know what it's for. There is a lot of packaging in here, and it says to remove the packaging before turning on the computer. So I'm gonna unscrew this, take this. No, maybe it's not from here. There is, okay, so there's packaging in here. There's a little fan there. I don't think it's actually from the top. Maybe I get that from the side. Let me turn it around and check the other way. Okay, so I gotta figure out the best place to put this. It's gonna be based on really just logistics, cord length and stuff like that, just to keep it central. This is gonna replace my current F30. So my F30 is this Falcon laptop right here. And I've had this for a little, I guess maybe about a year. And it's my second F30. So total right now, this is my 5th laptop by Falcon Trading Systems. 5th computer. I have 2 F15 laptops. My original one, which is phenomenal. I love it, and it's still back here. This is the computer that has a couple of broken keys, and I mean, I've been using this for like 6 years. It's a great computer. I've beaten it up a little bit, but we've had a really good run together. I don't see a date on here right now, but in any case, we've had a great run. So this computer has been kind of knocked off of the top spot and is just sort of used for other stuff. It's been replaced by this F15 right here. This is a computer that is what I usually use each day for trading, and it powers 3 monitors, 1, 2, 3. I generally think that for most traders, 2 monitors is good, 3 is ideal. And the way I divide them up is on my main monitor, I have my broker. That's right above my keyboard, because that's what I want to really have my eyes on. That's got all my level 2 windows. It's got the time and sales. It's got everything like that. And then monitor number 2 has charts and scanners, and monitor number 3 is just charts. And this for me is like perfect. I really don't need much more than that. But the main issue here with this F30 is that I use it for broadcasting. So I actually have a 2-computer setup here, which is one computer is for trading and the other is for broadcasting and for video editing and video recording, making episodes just like this. And this is the area where I've been struggling a little bit. I felt like I needed a computer that was, powerful enough to do everything. And I have just found that in laptop form, it's not happening. And I use both computers for trading because, as many of you know, I have multiple trading accounts. So I have my retirement account, and then I have my main account, and then I have my small account challenge, and then I have an account with Thinkorswim. So I need to be able to have both systems running trading software. And the other reason this is really important for me is that if I'm in a trade in my Roth IRA in my main, on this computer right here, and for some reason the computer crashes in the middle of the trade, I need a backup. When I trade with large positions, which occasionally I will, it's worth the extra money to have 2 computers just to protect myself from the risk of having a 6-figure loss, because that could happen for me if I took a huge position and then my computer crashed in the middle of it. I mean, look, even if I just knocked over a cup of coffee, I'm not any fault of the computer, but even I do something, whatever, something happens, computer goes out, and then all of a sudden I'm in a jam. So even if you had like a $500 old laptop, you got one used or something like that, you could use that just to have everything installed so you could log in real quick, exit positions. And if it's good enough for that, that's just insurance. All you're doing really is buying insurance. It's a couple $100, whatever it is, for a cheap, just really simple computer. And now you have that. So with this system here, this laptop is going to go. This one's going to jump out, and this is going to go in its place. I'm going to use, of course, this for the actual keyboard instead of using a maybe more traditional laptop keyboard. again, this is a personal choice. You guys do whatever you'd prefer on that. And I'm going to connect it to these HDMI monitors. Now, the only thing I guess I'll have to decide is if I want to set up a monitor that's right around kind of the height of this laptop screen. So in a sense, this is like my laptop keyboard, and I could set up a small little monitor right here. I think what I could use for that are one of these USB monitors right here. They're super skinny. And I could set this up right on my desk like this, just on an angle. And then this almost, I mean, you know, I could fool my mother into thinking this is a laptop. Oh, easily. So, you know, could I even fool myself? Can I make the transition so seamless that I forget? That would be the ultimate. Let's see if I can do it. All right, so we're all set up. This is the trading station. Well, it's my whole workstation, I guess, not just trading. But this is the new setup. So monitor 1, monitor 2, monitor 3, all powered by this desktop right back here, the brand new one from Falcon. It's got the lights. It looks like the flux capacitor. This thing is amazing. And I set this up sitting on my older F30. So this is the keyboard right here. And I'll say this trackpad is a little small. However, I would also say that the trackpad on this F30 is huge, so big that I actually put this piece of tape on it to make it smaller by like, I don't know, 20%, because I kept touching it with my hand, with my palm, and screwing up the mouse and doing stuff. So this is too big. I'm Goldilocks over here. This is a little too small, and this is like just right. This one I like a lot. This one's also fine right down here, but anyways, that's the older computer. So that's fine. So anyways, I've got this USB keyboard with a trackpad, which I think I'll get used to. We'll see. I'll try it out for a while. I've got the USB monitor right here. So that's leaning against there. So that's monitor number 1. And then monitor number 2 is right here. So this is for doing recording. Monitor number 3 is up there. So these 3 are for this station. And this took me 20 minutes to get set up. So I've got a couple more things to install on this computer, but it's basically set up and ready to go. This computer is going to be my continued primary for trading, although I might swap it out for the F30, because even though the fan is loud on this, the fan is loud when I'm running it at full capacity. But I'm not going to be doing that since this is the streaming computer and this is the trading computer. The trading computer, I do have some monitors running, but I don't think anyways, I could try to see how loud the fan is. If it's a problem, I'll just keep using the F15. But the one area that I notice it is on my Google Doc here. I have this Google Doc with for my classes. I'll put this up on full screen. So I've got this Google Doc here for my classes that has 1,600 slides, and just running this, I mean, this hogs I can hear the fan on this computer right now spinning up because I'm now scrolling through this. If I try to search on this, I do, Control F for Head and Shoulders, or I want to search, let's just say I want to search for, level 2. I mean, it's taking my hands are already off the keyboard. It's still inputting. So anyways, maybe the F15 could get an upgrade. I could use the F30 for the trading station there, and then this side will be the new Falcon desktop. And I'm excited. As I'm sitting here, this thing is so quiet. It's just, it's running. It's just doing its thing. It's not causing any trouble. So I'm liking that a lot. And I think it's going to be really nice to get used to it. So for those of you who have been kind of going back and forth on, should I get a laptop? Should I get a desktop? If I could only have one, I would use a laptop, because then at least I can still travel. But if you can afford two, a desktop at home, that makes sense. And then the laptop for when you're on the go. All right, so this has been a little episode here, unboxing, setting up the new Falcon desktop. And if you have any questions about different components to this system that I didn't answer in this episode, leave them down below and I'll come back and answer them. So if you're like, oh, what monitor are you using, or what cable are you using for this? I have the answers to all those questions. Just throw me the question, I'll give you the answer. All right. So I don't know, there's so many little details in here. Most people probably wouldn't find them interesting, but if there is something in there that you've been trying to figure out the best way to do it, it doesn't hurt to ask. So thanks as always for tuning in. And I'll remind you as always, trading is risky. My results aren't typical. So manage your risk, take it slow, and I'll see you for the next episode real soon.